Okay.
Check.
We're here. We got Julian Esparza here. We just got some bougie coffee.
Yump.
And I was stoked on it. What was it, dude? Tell me. You got to school me again, because that was incredible.
It's an Ethiopian roast, light roast. Has notes of raspberry and very citrusy.
My lady kind of called the raspberry.
Yeah, she did.
That's crazy that you know. So what's this obsession with coffee? I love it. I love coffee, but you went whole new extremes.
Oh, man. Like, you know, I first started getting into like the craft coffee when I first moved to San Francisco. And I feel for me, that's when I first tried my first, I like to say, real cup of coffee. Because I think as Americans, we're kind of brainwashed into thinking like Starbucks, that's like the apex. And like,
I don't like Starbucks.
And it's like, it's just, you know, first of all, the beans they're always too dark or always burnt. It tastes bad. Yeah. You know, like with the, like you can't get those kinds of flavors from that kind of coffee. And the coffee they use is low quality too. And like, you know, like the citrus, like you're not, you know, the raspberry flavors, like you're not getting any of that from any Starbucks shit.
So what is that? What? Okay, so you got to school me though, because I don't know nothing about coffee. So like, what the hell is it? I know it's a bean.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't even look like, what do you call it? It doesn't even look like it looks like a red whatever.
Yeah, it's a cherry.
It's like a cherry.
Yeah, coffee. I'm pretty sure. Like yeah. And you know, I don't even really know exactly how we got from, you know, oh, it's a random cherry and we eat them. You know, I'm not sure how we got from there into like, oh, we're doing this now. We've got the Chemex, chemically bonded filters. I don't know. I'm not sure. You know, that's what it said on the box. You know, and that's, I'm not sure how we got to that point, but I'm glad we're here. I'm for it.
Chemically bonded is so good.
But it really does taste different though. You taste the difference. Though,
I mean, honestly, it was really bomb. It was very good. I still got some.
You know,
let me try it again.
Let's see.
I mean, that's bomb.
You know, it's smooth and it's no bitterness, right?
So wait, all right. So tell me about San Francisco. Why are they bougie about coffee or what?
Oh yeah. Oh, it's the coffee culture there is insane.
Really?
Like, yeah, it's crazy. Like, so the first time I had my first real cup of coffee was at this place called Blue Bottle. Started by this guy who actually, he was an alumni of the school I went to up there. The guy's a bajillionaire now.
What was the school?
San Francisco Conservatory.
Oh, okay.
And I think he might be on the board now, actually. And he got like, you know, he's like in the Oakland Symphony. He plays clarinet. He's supposed to be pretty good. But so I tried that coffee, and it just opened up this whole new world. Like I had, you know, it's just like I just changed my life, literally. Like I had a sip and I was like, I gotta know how to make this. I love
it, dude. I love it.
You know, it's just kind of like how we got started playing music. You know, we hear it and it's like, I gotta know how to do that.
Yeah, you just like it.
That's sick. And it's just, you know, another thing besides music that I'm really passionate about. And a lot of the jazz guys like are into coffee too, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like for me, moving back here from San Francisco, like the coffee culture here, like it's still like not as refined as like LA or New York or San Francisco, but like it's still like has room to grow, which is great.
So what makes it like more refined? Like where do you go get coffee? Do you make your own every day?
I do. There's a couple places I like. I get recommendations from, like Dark Horse is really good. Bird Rock Coffee Roasters is really good.
I've been there.
Basically anywhere where they locally roast their beans. That's the key.
Okay, so what does it mean to roast? I don't understand.
Basically, so when you get the coffee bean, it's like green.
Right.
And like, you know, and I'm not, you know, when you roast it, they add like different flavorings, and it's not like a whole lot, but it makes a difference. And, you know, basically it's like this giant cylindrical drum, and it, you know, it roasted at, I'm not sure what temperature, but it's really hot. It gets really hot. Okay. And that's what gets coffee that color, that brown color. Right. And depending on how long you have it in the roaster, you can get like a light roast or a dark roast.
Right.
But most craft coffee aficionados do not like dark roast coffee because it tastes burnt and it's really hard to brew. You know, because when you brew coffee when you roast coffee that much, it just, you lose the complexity of, you know, whatever flavor you're trying to get out of it. Like
if you cook it too much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. Oh, they're after you, bro. You hear them?
Yeah, the coffee police.
Oh, the coffee police are coming after.
You got the jazz police after you, and I got the coffee police after me, man. Like,
oh, don't get me started, Julian. Look, he's trying to egg me on.
Yeah.
I see you.
Yeah. Trying to aggravate you.
All right, wait. Okay, what is the story? Because I don't know where I heard this. I might be making this up. What isn't it something about like these farmers, like their goats found the coffee and they would eat it and they were up all night? Is that real? Did I just pull that out of my butt?
I'm not sure. I'm not like I'm not really hip to the history. I'm really more hip to the brewing techniques.
Okay, wait. What is this thing that you want to get? You were showing me. It looks like I'm in chemistry class.
Oh, the coffee siphon. That's the next buy for me, man. That
the coffee. Siphon.
And it's a lot of effort. I have to get a Bunsen burner and everything, and like, but it's apparently the flavors you get from that. Like, if you think this is good, like it just takes it to the next level. It's like you just taste more of the complex flavors of the bean that you're trying to extract the flavor from.
Dude, I'm in.
I'm
in.
And there's always something that comes every 3 or 4 years in the coffee industry that is like a fad, so like recently, like, the AeroPress, like, I mean, that's been around for like 20 years, but I feel like for me, I didn't really hear about it until like 2016, 2015 at the, like it didn't start to become mainstream, and now it's so mainstream now.
I don't even know what that is.
The AeroPress, it's like I should have brought it, but it's basically just like, it's supposed to be a mix of an espresso style, like using pressure to extract flavors from the bean, and like the regular like filter coffee. Like, it's supposed to be kind of a blend of those two brewing techniques, and I like it because, like, even though like we could do like maybe we should do this, like we'll brew the same coffee 3 different ways, and it'll taste different, way different.
I'm into that. We should do that.
And like, and you just get different flavors from different brewing techniques.
So what is your favorite coffee? Is there like a strain? Is that even what it's called?
There's a few strains. There's Arabica, which is pretty common. There's Robusta. Those are the main 2. Robusta is generally pretty stronger. Arabica, it's good, but I'm not really super hip to like the species of coffee. Like with this bean,
what was that one?
It's pretty sure it was Arabica.
Dude, I'm about to go down the coffee rabbit hole.
Dude,
like, cause now I got questions. I want to know where it comes from, and like I don't understand. Like, I got so many questions.
There's so much crazy coffee shit, man. Like
the history of it's got to be crazy though. Everyone drinks coffee. Like, it's such a crucial, or I mean, not everyone, but whatever. I love it. I feel like I could never. I'm not like a fiend where I just drink coffee all day, every day, because I do get the jitters.
Yeah.
And especially if I don't eat, and like I don't like that feeling sometimes, where you're just like. Sometimes it's nice, but if it's like too much, I don't like that. Like, it's just like, yeah.
Yeah, there's a limit, and I know people who like, at like 8 p.m. they'll have like a fucking cold brew, like 20 ounces, and I was like,
see, that's gotta affect your sleep though. Right?
Oh yeah,
because isn't the half-life on caffeine like crazy?
It's like 6 hours.
Yeah.
So I try to only have like 2 max, like before.
That's kind of how I am.
But it depends if I'm really tired, or if I really need it, I mainly, yeah.
Because my lady's really into green tea, like matcha, which I like, but it doesn't have the same, like, I mean, I like it, but it's just, I don't know. I like green tea. The matcha's a little different because it's more like, like silty.
Yeah,
it's like thicker.
Yeah, it has a powder,
which is cool.
Can be kind of creamy.
Yeah, which is cool, but at the same, it does feel different though. It's not as tweaky as coffee.
Yeah, coffee it's just the caffeine gets in your bloodstream more.
And I think matcha is better for you in the sense of like it's just green tea.
Yeah,
but it's like high extract green tea, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what the hell. But that's funny. But I don't know if I could ever not drink coffee. Yeah, because I love having, one of my favorite parts of the day is like getting up and then like having coffee.
Yeah, it's just like besides the caffeine part of it, it's just I love the flavor.
Yeah, I love the smell.
Yeah, it's just like kind of.
It's like when you wake up and you smell bacon.
Yeah.
Oh my god! Now I want bacon.
Yeah, it's so good.
You're cracking me up because I was like, I was thinking, I don't know anything about these guys, but the Black Rifle Coffee, I was telling you, apparently, like, I hear them on podcasts, whatever, but it's this, like, some veteran guy would be brewing, like, in the middle of, like, deployment or whatever, like we were saying.
Wow.
And, like, so he would be nerdy. I could just see you being that guy just in the middle of, like, the desert or wherever it is, and this guy's got his whole rig.
Yeah.
The siphon, whatever.
Yeah. Just an active war zone, you know.
But apparently this guy made this coffee company after, and they're like doing really well. It's just funny. You're cracking me up, dude. So that's why I called you Black Rifle Guy.
Fuck. We should do that, but in the middle of the gig. I'll bring my rig during the gig.
In between breaks,
Yeah.
dude, that's hilarious. Yeah. Like we're at a wedding gig or something, and you have like an hour break.
Yeah.
And this guy's brewing coffee with his Bunsen burner.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Man, that's, when I get that, man, come and, you know, get ready.
All right, so... what about you were in San Francisco? I knew that. I don't really know much though. What were you doing? You went to school there?
I did my undergrad there. Okay. I did actually go to Cal State Long Beach for 2 years before.
Oh, okay.
But I, you know, when I started to get more serious about music, I've always wanted to go to a conservatory. I wanted that prestige, and even though it's way more expensive, and you know, I'm in debt, like I just really wanted that.
So what is? I don't really know the difference between these schools.
It's just, I mean, like, you know, and state schools are great too. Like I went to one. It's just like a conservatory, it depending on where you go and what you make out of it. Like, you know, and I've been very fortunate. You know, I guess they really liked me over there, but it's just more specialized, I guess, like depending on what the curriculum is, you know. I mean, I feel like I've only been to 2 schools, but most music school curriculums are the same. You know, you have music theory, you have musicianship, you have your ensemble classes and your private lessons, and then studio, right? That's what they have at State, right?
Yeah.
You know, so it's like that, but I guess with the conservatory, it's private. It's, you know, obviously it's a private institution, so like, you know, they can institute changes really quickly because they don't have to go through like a public system.
Yeah, the whole bureaucracy.
Yeah, and just like, you know, like you could literally go to the president and be like, I want to do this. And they're like, okay. You know, and the program I went to, it was a newer program. It started in 2017. I went there in 2018. So I'm like the second graduating class. And what I really liked about, you know, besides living in San Francisco, which is a great city and has a great scene, is that like the faculty, they're all New York faculty. So they get flown out, but they're just there to be at the school and hang out. And I would just like, you know, like hang out with Julian Lodge, get coffee with him, you know, play duo with him after class. He's just like, hey man, you want to play? Like, you want to hang out? And
you kidding me?
And like have a personal relationship
You
with
never
these
told
people,
me this, dude.
You know, and like, and through those and that's what I really liked.
That's sick.
You know, because I could have went to New York, but then like, you know, oh, I got to teach my lesson. Oh, I got to go to Japan after this. You know, like it's not personal. And what I really wanted is the mentorship and the personal relationship. Like, you know, and going there, you know, I've made good relations with the faculty, and like, you know, like they'll want to hire me. Like I got to play with Joshua Redman, man. Like that's, you know, and he's such a, you know,
I didn't know
such a great guy. Yeah, no, and that's how, you know. And with him, you know, when he started teaching there, he's like, man, Julian, let's play some tunes after class. You know, I got to play with him and fucking Aaron Goldberg.
See, I mean, that's how you really learn. Like, what are some like little nuggets they kind of told you that like you remember?
I remember
just like, yeah.
I remember the first session I played with Joshua and Aaron Goldberg. And it was me and it was my friend, John Cavalier, who I went to school with, great drummer. You know, I remember it was like a 5-hour set. We're just hanging all day, just in the practice room. We're just playing tunes. You know, Joshua was like, let's play this one, you know, and like, you know, this one? Oh man, you got to learn this one. Like, and there, from that, just that session, and I have a recording of it, and I don't want to listen to it because it's like, I'm not even, anyway, I got a few good nuggets from both Aaron and Joshua, you know, because like, I feel like as a young, you know, I was probably like 20, 21 to be playing with, you know, even if it's just a casual jam session, to be playing with those kinds of people on a regular basis, that's really helped my playing.
Yeah, I mean, how could it not?
You know, and like, and for me, like, I'm really more about like, yeah, like school's great, lessons are great, but you really learn out there on the gig,
right? Of course,
in the field, and that's what I really liked about that school, is like we just played all the time, and so like the session with Joshua and Aaron, like I remember we're playing and you know, and we would just play, and they don't hold back. They don't cater to like, oh, just because, you know, it was a student teacher dynamic. Like they'll still tell me I remember Joshua looking at me and just like, you know, man, like you really gotta you check out PC Man. It doesn't sound like it, man. You have to check him out, man. If you really want to play this music, you have to check out more bebop stuff. And you know, and that's a common thing, but you know, it's just to be there and kind of, you know, get my ass handed to me really was like, holy shit. Yeah. And honestly, once you go there and you start to play with musicians at that level, it's really hard. It's inspiring, but it's really hard for me to like, well, it's really hard to get there, but sometimes it can be hard to really understand what they're saying, because I feel like in school, you know, everything they want, you know, at least just from my experience going to school and people my age, is they want everything spoon-fed to them. You know, they want like, well, how do I play over all the things you are? Oh, you just do this scale over this now.
Yeah, I know.
Not into
I
that.
hate that too, because I've noticed that is they want like a one sentence answer.
Yeah, and it's just like some generic, oh, you play F minor or whatever, you know, over this. And it's just like, I'm not into that. It's like, you know, I'd rather be shown on the bandstand, like, you know, how to play. And that's how Joshua came up. Right. You know, he didn't even go to school for music. He went to school for sociology in, I forgot, some Ivy League school. Anyway, but like, he's, you know, and he came up playing with Art Farmer and his dad is Dewey. Yeah. And that's interesting too, because we'll play and he's like, man, it's my dad's horn. And I was like, that's what the fuck? Like, yeah, I'm trying it out, blah, blah, blah. And like, that's crazy too. And so a nugget I got from Joshua was the bebop stuff, and just really like
what did he say?
You know,
he just said, just dive into bebop, know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, like be very like, and then he's talking about,
I mean, I agree.
You know, the thump, you know, he's like, man, like what, you know, and he specifically told me like what I like about the bass players I hire. So for him, that's Ruben Rogers, that's Philip Norris, that's there's so many people. And he's like, what I like about their playing is they have the thump. And for bass, like the thump, you have to have the thump, or else it's just like
you're driving.
Yeah, you kind of like, and I feel like especially when we're playing acoustic straight ahead, like walking stuff, like that's like the center. Yeah, you know, and that's kind of what he showed me just by telling me and by playing with me. And the same thing with Aaron. Like we'll be playing, and he's like really like, he's like looking at me like, what is this guy doing? You know, and then he like, I remember like, you know, we talked for like 30 minutes and just like telling me, listen, man, what you're doing is affecting all of us. I'm listening to what you're doing. So you have to know what you're doing. And it doesn't sound like you know what you're doing, you know? And I was like, fuck.
Like, God, I don't.
No, seriously. Yeah. I was like, God, I have to know. Cause it's true.
No, I get it.
You know,
that's how you learn though, dude. That's cool.
And it's in, you know, and it's not just with them, you know, it's just like I used to play duo with Julian Lodge, you know, like in the undergrad. And that guy, he's such a nice guy. He has like this, you know, he's very soft spoken, but like I remember the first time I played with him, like in class, like he showed up and I was like fucking shitting my pants. Like,
so wait, does he live in San Francisco?
No, he lived in New York.
So how does that work? Do they fly every week?
Yeah, or not every week, but
every
you know,
week or every 3 weeks.
Yeah, for my teacher who I studied with, Matt Brewer and Scott Pingle, I took split lessons, so classical and jazz, which helped me a lot. Yeah, they flew out. They tried to. I would see them at least twice a month, but depending on their touring schedules, like
that's sick though. You know, I like that.
Yeah, and it's cool. And they give me a whole bunch like to check out, and you know, and like it was a nice change for me from going to weekly lessons to that, because then we could talk about more conceptual like stuff, and it's like, okay, I really have to work on this, and like with Matt Brewer, like man, that guy is like. First of all, he's great, and he's such a nice guy, and he's really. And I fucking sucked when I got there. I barely got into that school, you know. But I'm so glad I did, because
everyone sucks when you first start.
Yeah, you know, and I'm so glad I studied with him, because he really showed me what's up and just like what's really important in what we do as bass players, but just as musicians, and like, you know, and I like the fact that I can have a relationship with someone who's on the. Like a personal relationship, not just like a student-teacher relationship, to where it's like he's at the top of his field pretty much. He's one of the top bass players in New York. And he plays with, I just saw him recently play trio at the Athenaeum, I think 2 months ago, with Chris Potter and Kendrick Scott.
Oh, okay.
And I got to hang out with them, you know, after the gig, and got to pick their brains about music, and it was great. You know, like I can build relationships with these people who are on like,
they're on like the top tier.
Yeah. And they give you, and you know, like Matt has, you know, he's hooked me up with some people just by, oh man, like this, you know, it's something as simple as, man, this guy needs a bass. Like, could you let him borrow it? And like, and I could just get to meet more people, and it's just good for the networking, you know.
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so wait, tell me what it's like with Julian Lodge, because I play guitar, so I need I need to nerd out. A little
that
bit.
for the thing, you know, when I would ask with him or ask about music with him, you know, he's not a big.
Okay, this is my question, real quick.
Okay,
sorry.
yeah.
How do they talk about music? Because of the whole no minor one, you know what I'm saying. So, like, how do they discuss, like, melodies and harmonies? And just like, what do they say? Like,
Well, they don't really. It's weird because, you know, they know like conventional theory and stuff like that, and you know they can play it. And you know, honestly, when I would ask. I didn't really ask any of them about theory. Like, well, how do you think about this? It's just more, they're coming more from like, well, this is the melody, man. And this is the sound. This is the shape we have, you know, so play that shape, you know, and, you know, like with Joshua, you know, he's like, I'm not really hip to theory. You know, I just play what I hear. And like, he's more of an ear player, you know, like he can read music and, you know, like play some crazy odd meter stuff, but like, he's not really thinking like, I'm playing, you know, a diminished scale over this, like, even though he can execute it, he's just, this is the shape that, and same thing. And that's a common thread with a lot of these New York guys, you know, they don't, which I think for me, it's just easier. It's just like, I don't want to have to like, you know, think, oh, there's this scale, there's this chord over here. Like I have to think about, you know, my melodic minor scale from the 6th mode or whatever the fuck. Like that's just, it's like, it's this sound. I just have to get it familiar under my fingers and in my ears, and then bam, play it. You know,
I mean, yeah, there's something to that. I think that's how a lot, you know, that's where the church guys talk. Like that's how they talk. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I do get frustrated when like certain people can't articulate what they're doing when they clearly know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I think that sometimes that's like, oh, you just got to feel it, man. It's like,
yeah,
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but like you know. Maybe it's just how my mind works.
Yeah.
I feel like and there's certain things that you don't have to think in conventional ways.
Yeah.
But like, you know, it's obvious that they know what they're playing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just, I get interested in that kind of stuff because it's especially like those guys.
Yeah. You know, and they, you know, but for me personally, I never asked any of those questions about like, you know, theory, because I'm not a big theory guy, you know, and, you know, and like what has been said on this podcast before, you know, we have to be descriptive, you know, we have to use our words to describe. And I get that from that, you know, they know what they're doing, but they can't articulate it.
Which is fine. Sometimes it's hard to articulate. Yeah. It's an abstract thing to articulate. Mm-hmm. That's the thing. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. But I do think that, you know, just play inside that sound. It's like, okay, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But what is that sound?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, certain people will say it's this sound or it's this. You should think that. That's fine. I love all of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I think certain ways or hear things certain ways or, But I think that, like, I guess for me, sometimes, like, I remember, like, trying to learn stuff and, like, it didn't hit me until, like, until, like, you're playing with people, like you're saying, which is, like, and for me, it really happened in my church gig. I mean, I say this over and over. But it's like, it's because, and maybe it's because they don't have the words to say it. Mm-hmm. But my other pet peeve is just because you don't have the words doesn't mean you don't know it.
Yeah.
And some people will be like, well, they don't know what they're doing. Wow. I disagree because I feel like they know more than some people. Mm-hmm. And maybe they don't have the words to say it, but like.
They can play it.
Yeah, they can play it and they're obviously doing something right because it sounds sick.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And for me, it's like, I don't know. When you're playing certain things and it's like, oh, well, I don't really think chords or scales, but you're playing the exact right thing. It's like, well, you're thinking something, whatever you want to call it. I don't really care. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So that's what interests me. So I like to like ask these, you know, it is hard to get some of these guys to kind of say certain things though.
Yeah. Cause you know, I don't know how deeply they're thinking about it or if they're, I don't know. I mean, I like I said, I never asked any theory. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, I maybe asked, you know, man, there's this chord, you know.
Have you ever asked like piano players or guitar players? Because I do think there is like a difference between like when you ask certain, you know, if you ask chordal players something, they think about it differently than horn players.
Yeah,
or not.
Yeah,
the same.
No, I agree. They're more, you know.
Or like I ask a drummer a certain rhythm question. Mm-hmm. They're going to think about it in much different way, perhaps, than, you know. whoever else.
Yeah.
Just because that's how they, whatever they think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like all that shit.
Yeah. No, it's interesting.
Especially like, and for me, it's like maybe, okay, what were we saying? Oh, theory.
Yeah.
Just articulating stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, dude, like I have to, like my mind, I like to really, I like both ways. Like I like the idea of like, don't think too hard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I do like to think hard about certain things. And it kind of annoys me a little bit when people are like, "Oh no, you're thinking too hard." Like, don't. I'm like, no, bro, you're not thinking hard enough. Like, and to me, it's like, the whole like, oh well, the jazz players, they just kind of play whatever, and it's like they're not really thinking hard. It's like, no, I totally disagree.
Yeah.
I feel like those guys are geniuses.
Yeah.
And they're thinking harder than you think they are. And yeah, maybe it's not articulated in a certain way that that you can just read a paragraph and it answers all your questions. But I feel like, yeah, like to say that it's not, yeah, I don't know. I don't like the whole just feel it entirely. Cause I think you should just feel it.
Yeah. It should feel, yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I don't know. It's interesting because it's funny, like playing with the church guys and the whole no minor one thing just cracks me up because I feel like it comes from that mentality of like, oh, just feel it, don't think too hard, like, you know what I mean? Because that's who I kind of got it from, is like the guys supposedly who are not articulating it, whatever, even though they can beautifully on the instrument. It's like more specific than it would be if I was like, hey, just play this scale or
just play Mixolydian, whatever
it is. Yeah, you'd say that to them, they're gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? But they'll play perfectly Mixolydian or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And then on top of that, though, they'll overlay stuff that's not Mixolydian. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's the whole point. It's like, you're not doing just one thing the whole time.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the whole point. It's like, it's I think of it as layers.
Layers, exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. It's just interesting though. But I like to ask like certain people, certain questions, but I feel like sometimes it's like touchy with certain people.
Yeah. They're a little sensitive about it.
Yeah. Why is that?
Well, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I think it's,
it's almost like it feels like you're attacking someone on what they know or something.
Yeah. Or just, I don't know. It's hard to have just in general a dialogue with artists and just people, because they just want to be right and they want to prove you wrong. It's just like, well, I mean,
I just get curious about how people think about it.
Yeah. And that's great.
Because it's like, well, you obviously know what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what I mean? Whether it's just people around us or like, Joshua Redman or someone.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you have to have an answer.
Yeah.
Of like, oh, it's just this, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know. I do like, asking, it's like, well, where do you think minor 2/5s come from? And I don't know. Sometimes I ask people and like, there's not really an answer. But like, which is fine. Whatever. But anyways, I don't know. No such thing as minor one.
Yeah. Just prove it.
Dude, you're hilarious with this whole thing.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Because for those of you guys that don't know, Julian just be texting me on Instagram or texting. We go back and forth, and he just eggs me on.
Oh, I love it.
Why do you love it? What do you love?
I just like the, I like the chaos, man. Like, it's just funny, like, I don't know. And then reading the comments, it's entertaining to me, man.
It is entertaining.
Because you're getting them. You're getting the desired outcome from what you're doing.
I didn't even mean to be honest.
But it's, like you have a way of thinking and the minor one thing or no such thing as minor one. And, that obviously made some people upset. So like, and I love it though, it's just like, and it's just, I'm, and I'm not super hip to music theory. I don't want to necessarily talk about that, but like, I see, for me, I can see both.
I mean, that's my whole
both
point,
ways,
really.
and if I feel like if
it's
you,
both,
yeah, if you're gonna have a different way, and it's not even that like crazy, it's just of a concept, it's just like for me, what I look at it, if you want to look at it, as minor 2/5s, that's fine, or was it 7/3/6, right? Like whatever makes you think about it in a way that's tangible to you and easier, and it makes you make music better. Yeah, then why not?
I agree.
That's
totally
where I'm
agree.
coming from. Because I'm not necessarily an educator, but just like I know you are, but just like, if you have different ways to say the same thing, and if one student understands,
it clicks with one and that happens all the time with music. Dude, I literally in my lessons, like for those of you that don't take lessons with me, literally it's just me asking them questions. Like, hey, how do I play this? I don't know. How do you play over it? What do you think? All right, well, what do you play over this? If this is this, then what's that? And, all right, well, think about it like this, but I don't know, whatever. And like I tell them, I'm like, look, I'm gonna ask you the same question, or I'm gonna ask you, like, the answer is gonna be probably the same thing, but I'm gonna ask it in many different ways. So don't be afraid to think that it's the same thing you just said. Yeah, because it's like that's the whole point. I'm trying to make sure that you get, or what is this, and then I'll play it, or I'll turn around and be like, all right, well, now you have to just really hear it, or something. Which they don't do enough of, to be honest. Well, there should be a class where you only bring your instrument and literally maybe you could talk a little bit, but I think very minimal with words. And it would just be like I want to do a series on YouTube about this where like you just sit in the front of the camera and like say stuff through your instrument and then like other people copy you and just go back and forth nonstop. Yeah. Like
like a griot, you know what I'm talking about? Like there's this I forgot, but no, I know what you're saying. But where you just play,
it's like you're talking, but through your instrument. Yeah, and it's not really because most of the time you go to theory class and no one brings their instrument. Yeah, and everyone's just talking and writing, and
it's all just this and that, and
that's all it is.
Yeah, But when we play, we're not but we're not thinking about all that. At least I'm not. I don't know. Maybe some people.
I think you should do. I think just anyways, but I would. I think that would be a good way of doing it, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Point is that t-shirts are coming. No,
no, they are. I'm getting Eric and Mr. ElectricLouieLand himself to sign it. Put it in my room. One of one, the only one.
That's hilarious.
That's gonna be funny. Crazy.
No, I mean I really, for me, it's like I think of everything through songs. So like,
that's the way.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like when you say a certain song, like say a song.
All things you are.
Okay, like immediately I think starts on 6.
And I agree with that.
And I'm in A flat. And the keys go through the A flat chord. A flat, and then you go to C, and then you go to E flat, and then you go to G, and then you go back. But like, and then when you get to the part where you go to E major, it's like that to me sounds like the classic 2-5. It sounds like minor 2-5 to the 6, 7-3-6, but you don't play 6 minor, you play major. Yep. It's like it's the classic what's the one? Alone Together.
Alone Together, yeah.
That's what it does. D major. Yeah. It's like, and R&B does that all the time. Like that's kind of where I learned it. It's like you hear that all the time. For example, I say this a million times. Crazy.
Crazy, yeah.
It's
same thing.
Same thing. And then the second verse, you better play C major.
Yeah, or else you suck.
Otherwise you suck and you didn't get it because the melody's C major. It's an E. And it goes to major 6. Just saying, dude.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's the same minor 1.
I love it.
All right, what are some cool ways that like what are like some things the ways that you think of music that maybe I don't think of it like that?
Well, for me, I'm
just curious.
Yeah, no.
I don't care what anyone else thinks.
Yeah. No, of course, and we're just talking here, but like I guess specifically what I've been thinking about recently is the relationship between the ride cymbal beat and the quarter note.
The relationship between the ride and the quarter. I mean, yeah, you're obsessed with that. You're a bass player.
And that's like, if that's not happening.
Okay, so all right, so I have theories on time and stuff. So what is your like, what makes it happening for you?
For me, it's like, and this is an issue I notice with some, and not that I'm perfect either, but just with players, like, they'll, like, and I don't know if it's like an academia thing or whatever, like, they'll emphasize, for me, and maybe it's just because I'm playing quarter notes, the swing for me, it's not 2 and 4. Okay. It's, it's on 1 and 3 for me. Like, so like, I mean, people count off tunes like, and I'm that like the emphasis I feel like people put of what, I think that some people play, like they think like it's 2 and 4, it's swing. Right. Like it swings cause the emphasis is on 2 and 4, but
when it's not even that at all.
Well, for me, it's swinging through all, if we're talking 4/4, all 4 beats. Right. And I feel like with drummers, if you're really happening, then you can play a gig with no, like if we're just playing like ding
Just
ding
quarter
ding,
notes.
or just or that, or just like they have their ride cymbal pattern and beat and feel just so locked in that they don't need. I feel like some drummers rely on the 2 and 4, which is like, to me, I'm not, when we're playing, I'm not even that's just, and this is Akira Tana, like, the drummer. He's played with Jim Hall actually, and he's great, and Steve Laspina, and anyway, he's a great, and this is his words, not mine. And like, to him, like, I remember I was in class and there was a drummer playing, and he's just like, man, why are you playing like 2 and 4, man? Like, like I get that's what some people think that's what the swing is, but it's in your ride cymbal, man. Like, you listen to, especially like later Tony Williams and stuff like that. Like, and he said, I don't like when drummers do that, because that's a, when they do 2 and 4, because that's a wasted comping voice. Like, you could be doing so much, like, and when you listen to Tony, that's what he does, and like, I feel like you should be able to play swing or gigs with just like, if we're playing like just straight ahead, snare, ride cymbal. Like, you should, that's the core right there for me.
Okay.
And that's how, and I'm not listening to I'm listening to the cymbal to lock in with the cymbal.
Right. I mean, that makes sense.
And I just feel like some drummers don't think about it that way. And it's just like, and it's not even how I think. It's just what I've heard, like great drummers like Matt Wilson, Kitatana, Ulysses Owens Jr., and people I've played with too, right, with those kinds of people. Like, and you listen, and another thing too is like, I don't want to like sit here and shit on drummers, but just like, they have no control over the sound. People think like, like having a big sound and being loud, that's two different things to
right.
me. Like, I feel like, in the sonic scape that we all occupy on the bandstand, let's just put it like that. I feel like a lot of drummers will play, and they'll first of all, they'll play in a way where it's just like, the bass, especially acoustic, this wood, and even with the amps and shit, like, they play in a way that clutters the sonic sound, the like literal frequencies. They play the cymbal too loud, exactly. Yeah. And it's too much, and it's like, like, and people think, oh, you don't like it when the drummer's too loud. It's like, no, I don't like it when they're covering up, our space, and bass frequencies, like, they travel slower to our ear than like a cymbal or trumpet or it's just, it's physics.
Yeah.
And it just, so, but that relationship, between the ride cymbal and the quarter note, that's what I've been thinking about a lot, because like, that has to happen.
Yeah, it's interesting, because the thing is everyone's sense of time is different. So it's interesting to like hear when people like their sense of just playing quarter notes is like so different, which is like, and it's not that it has to be perfect. Yeah, no, because you kind of almost don't want it to be perfect.
Yeah, then it'll sound stale.
Because then it's just like, straight, like tick, 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 I don't know, it's like weird, but like, I don't know. I've been trying to figure out why it feels better with some people than others, or like why that is. And it's just because of what you're saying, but like, it's just funny because the idea of agreeing on the quarter note is kind of abstract. Yeah.
That's something
like everyone agreeing.
Yeah.
Like, you try and get people to clap that have no rhythm. It's hilarious.
Oh yeah.
But it's crazy. Like, okay, we all have to agree on the time. Not that it's going to be exactly the same.
Yeah, and not that we're going to stay the same, it's going to fluctuate, over the song.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. That's interesting because everyone's feel is different.
Yeah. And I think part of what makes a good, because, we all feel time differently, but we all have to know how to sit together with that. Because we can be in different places of the beat, behind, ahead.
But sometimes that's where it feels good too. It's like, oh, like I tend to play ahead of the beat or whatever it is, and then I like playing with this guy because it really like that elastic of like he's more behind the beat or whatever. Sometimes the perfect combination feels nice. It's just weird to me.
Yeah, and it's just like, no, I agree. Yeah, like some people, I'm just like, man. This is
awesome. What my biggest pet peeve recently is? It's not even recently. I need to enforce it more when we're playing. Is like it's just volume.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, I get so annoyed when shit gets too loud.
Yeah.
And the thing is that like sometimes there's you battle people.
Yeah, but
and
that's
like for me, it's like, you know, when I'm playing and I'm playing the melody, it's like, you know, the horn player or whoever's playing the head should be a little bit on top, like in the sense of like the sonic scape, right?
Yeah.
If you can't hear the melody and you know,
yeah, what the fuck we doing?
it's just like, yeah, I don't know. So,
You know?
but then you get the battle of like, well, I'm gonna turn out and then they turn out, and it's just like, God damn it, I hate that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone needs to agree on that.
Yeah, like we need. Well, first of all, like
I think I have to be more.
Yeah, I definitely.
I think I just gotta tell people.
I know. Yeah, especially just
because the other thing is too is like I feel like guitar players are like notorious for turning up too loud.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the stereotype, right? But like, I almost feel like I want the opposite because I have my dials on the amp. Like those don't change.
Yeah.
I see when I'm past what I normally set it to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I have to because it's so
fucking loud,
and I need to be able to like dictate. And that's the other thing is like if I'm gonna like steer the ship at all.
Yeah.
And you can't hear me. It's like you can't really steer the ship.
Yeah, like we need to play like we all want to hear each other and just like
I don't like. Yeah, I hate when like you're somewhere and it's just so loud that you're yelling.
Yeah, and I feel like we don't like on gigs like we don't really. People think we need to play really loud because the audience. It's like they'll come to us.
I know.
If we just invite them, you know, like
okay.
You know
can I say another pet peeve?
Of course.
I need to clip this so that way I can like say it without calling people out.
Yeah.
But there's like my other pet peeve is like when we go to gigs and you're setting up and like I know you have to get a sound. I get it. But like I hate when people just keep playing. Like sound check, whatever, and like we haven't started yet. And it's just like or like boom 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 or like horns.
Yeah, the fucking noodling.
I'm like, bro, just stop.
Yeah.
Like get a sound. I need to make sure my amp didn't shit on me and like, okay, it works. Boom. I'm gonna tune real quick. But that's the other thing. Don't tune all loud.
Yeah.
Boom.
Don't play. Yeah.
And like, you know, I put my phone right on the amp and like try and tune. Oh, that's my other pet peeve is when I'm trying to tune and then other people are playing.
And they see that
I'm
you're
like,
trying
guys,
to tune.
you see I'm trying to tune and my thing, you know, it's hearing your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
They just have no awareness of.
But my point of this would be like, I feel like it's so much more dramatic and impactful when like, say we're playing at Madison. We go and like set up, check. Okay, it's good. Okay, cool. And then that's it. And then when right at 7 we start. All right, 1, 2. And then all of a sudden that's the first time you really hear the sound. Mm-hmm. Like that's gonna sound so much cooler than if you just hear like
for like 15 minutes and then they play.
Or drums, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I feel like that. I want to do more of that in my opinion because some people just be going crazy. Well, they'll be playing some tune.
Yeah.
Like which is fine. I get you gotta want to warm up, but I think it's just be more impactful.
Yeah.
Than not, you know. When you go to a show, you sound check, and it's not like you go there and like.
Yeah, you don't see the pros doing that shit.
Yeah, you don't play right. Like they walk out. And you didn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's better.
Yeah, and I agree with you. It is more impactful and just like I'm gonna dial in what you need to dial in, and then that's it. You know, and then like you said warming up. The thing, like I feel like like you shouldn't have to. Do the warm up before you get to the fucking gig. First of all, like if you want to, like, and then also I think it's a skill because a lot of these guys that tour, all the New York guys, and I remember Matt Wilson was saying like, man, someone asked you warm up, man. I was like, no, man, like you have to always be ready to go no matter what. If you're fucking hungover, fucking no sleep, you have to be ready to lay down no matter what. And like yeah.
And for me, like I try and I'm not by any means the best, but like I feel like I've been working more on just like having the right touch immediately.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like it does help to warm up. I do like to
I mean, like a little like
I do like it is nice to like I do feel better after like playing a little bit.
Yeah.
But I do see your point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying warming up is bad, but I think we're not always going to get the opportunity to.
No, I get you.
And that's probably where he's fucking to the world. I get it. And like,
I could see that.
But what was I going to say? Yeah, it's just like, and these, like speaking about the volume and how loud everything is, it's like, and we listen to these records, it's like, these guys are not playing that loud. You listen to, they tell me, oh, I love Brad Meldau Trio. I love Joshua Redmond Group, blah, blah, blah.
Like, there's no way they're just blaring.
And I'm just like, no, they play enough to where they can hear each other. And it's just like, oh, and it's just like, I saw fucking Brad Meldau at the LA Phil and they have the most, you know, like they have first of all, they have an amazing group sound, and it wasn't loud, but everything was so clear and present. And like, that's like something other people don't think about is like what we're doing here is, I mean, we're playing with each other, but we're a group our sound collectively is what we're putting out there.
Right.
You know, if it's all balanced and shitty and loud, then it's just like, the music suffers.
Yeah. That's, you know, and I just think that those guys back in the day didn't play that loud.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's just no way. The amps weren't as loud.
Yeah. And the basses.
There's just no way.
Yeah. And there's 95% of, you know, of gigs cases, like there's no need for, you know, we just turn it up to where it's great, like nice, chill volume. And then it sounds better. The music feels better. And then you get more dynamics.
All right, dude, I'm going to start regulating.
Please do. No,
start regulating. Sometimes I want to say something, but I'm just like,
nah, man. If it's your gig, if you're the head honch, if it's your gig, you know, like that's you're leading the bus, or that's just as a sideman. That's like if you tell me it's like, hey, you're playing too loud. Oh, okay, got you. I'm not gonna get offended because I recognize that we're a group, and you know, like I'm just too loud. I don't want to be drowning anyone out.
What about like bass players that like don't want to use amps? Like, how do you feel about that? I feel like sometimes you kind of have to use it.
Yeah, and it's just easier too and stuff like that. You don't have
to play as hard.
Yeah,
is that like a thing though? Like they want you to play harder because it has that sound. Or
some people think.
What is the deal with that?
So some people. I mean, there's different schools of thought. For me, at this point, I'm just, you know, thinking more like economically and ergonomically with my technique. Since I play so much, like I have to play to where I'm getting the right sound, but I'm not overexerting myself. And that's kind of like a journey everyone has, like the bass player personally. They have to go through, but also like if we're playing acoustically, the people you have to play with have to have control over their sound and realize like, okay, this guy is not amplified. I have to play to his level. I have to come down to me.
Yeah.
Or they have to, you know, have to meet you. You know, and it's like a volume and a balance thing. And a lot of players just like, they just play really, and they don't think about it like, oh, well, that's how I play at Prohibition, you know, super loud or whatever, you know, it's just an example.
Yeah, I get you.
And it's just like, no, man, like you have to be like I wanted to respond to your point, like when you're talking, like when you ask your students, like how, what do you think about this? You know, blah, blah, blah. Like, I feel like in academia and music school, like as students, we're not taught to think critically about what we're doing. It seems like,
they always want the qualitative answer, quantitative, whatever the word is.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
Remember the one that you need numbers and shit.
Yeah, it's just like, no, like, I'm not into that because that's not truly. Or to me, that's not a reflection of what we actually do. You know, like it's a helpful tool. I'm not saying it doesn't have its place. Like it's great, but like, you know, like I feel like some musicians that I've gone to school with, you know, they don't think critically. And then people I've played with, you know, they don't think critically about how they're occupying the bandstand and the space and just their sound. It's just like, well, you just play. You don't think about what Louis trying to play here or what I'm trying to do here. Like how much are you really listening? You know, it's like 5% playing and like, you know, 95% listening,
right?
You know, or whatever. I don't know who said that, but
I see what you're saying. I get you.
And I try to listen more than I play, and I don't know if it's just because of bass player thing, and I don't have any super chops either. So, you know, but I don't know.
No, I get you. So what about gigs here? You've been playing with Gil a bunch.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, you know, I'm very fortunate to have, you know, be moving back and be playing with, you know, someone at his level. I mean, he's great.
Dude, you know what's funny though is I know your dad before I knew you.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because I used to play with him with Bill.
Yeah, I remember seeing you at Volsalta.
Yeah.
That's how I met like Ed Kornhauser.
Yeah, dude. People
and all
don't
those
know.
guys.
You miss Volsalta. They don't know.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, that was the shit though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was awesome.
But that's cool. So you've been playing with Gil. You've been doing what else you doing?
I got to play with Berganzi last April.
Oh yeah.
I play with Brian a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I got to play with Bob Shepard with you. That was great.
That was cool. Bob was cool.
Yeah, and I like how he was talking, you know, about the volume and everything.
Yeah,
we don't need
he was preaching to the choir. I was like, tell him, Bob.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to say something, because I was like, dude, I've been thinking the same thing.
Yeah, and we don't, and I agree. And we as, you know, we shouldn't be afraid to like, we have to hold each other accountable and have a standard here.
Yeah, the thing is too is there's a sweet spot on my guitar amp for the tone that I want.
Yeah,
I know exactly what knob to turn.
Yeah, and
I need it to be at the right number. And the minute it gets past it,
it sounds like
out.
shit.
It's not that it sounds like shit. It's just not the sweet spot.
Yeah,
And I'm just like, and that's when I know it's like, guys, it's too loud.
Yeah, and that spot on the knob, I bet it's not super loud.
It's not, and it doesn't ever change.
Yeah,
that's the other thing. It's like, guys, I know when I'm past it. Like,
you can hear it.
You know what I mean? Like, but whatever. That's funny. I like that shit. All right, let me think here. I like it. Wait, what about some of your tunes? Because some of your tunes are cool. I gotta record some of mine too.
Oh yeah, slacking. I know. I gotta.
Damn it.
You know, I guess I don't know. I guess I'll talk about my process really quick. Like, you know, my tunes will have these like kind of like crazy like names and stuff like that, and just like, I don't know. It's just I wouldn't say like it's like protest music necessarily, but I just like to in terms of the title, just write something, or you know, like it could be something, or just name it something that's like, it could just be a lyric that I've heard that's like, oh, that'd be a nice tune name, and I kind of write based off of that. You know, like I usually name my tune first before I actually even write any music, which is I don't know.
Yeah, I'm totally opposite.
Which is weird, but like for me, I feel like the title will determine the vibe of the tune.
Yeah, I get you. I can see that.
You know,
if the frame of mind you're in when you're thinking about it.
Yeah.
We're trying to hear stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to spend more time writing stuff because I feel like every time I do, it goes well, which is cool. Because I feel like sometimes you get in bad streaks. You know what I mean? But
when you write cool shit too, you know.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, like, I mean, I need to do more though, dude. It's like, and I feel like it's kind of part of the jazz history.
Oh
like
yeah,
all those guys wrote tunes. You know what I mean? That's all we do is play those songs.
Yeah,
and each player has a certain sound. Like I've been going down a little bit of a Horace Silver rabbit hole, and like the way he plays, I like it because he's just kind of proving my point in all his songs. Yeah. You guys aren't ready. You think I haven't thought hard about this?
Yeah.
I got lists. Yeah. Okay. Plural.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Nah, man, you didn't go to music school, man. You don't know theory.
I never graduated, bro. Yeah. I can't read. I can't read, dude.
Love that.
That's funny. What was I gonna say? Oh, I just forgot. But anyways, that's what I was gonna say. I want to make a shirt. The thing is, this would just be giving away knowledge for free, but it's fine. I think we should anyways. I want to make a shirt that's like no minor one shirts, but I want to have on the back. You know how you have like tour shirts, like Zeppelin or whatever it is, whatever tour, and you see on the back, it's all the tour dates. I want to do that instead, though. Like it'll be like 6 chord, whatever.
Oh, like the song.
And then on the back, it'll just be a list of jazz tunes or songs, not even just jazz tunes, because I have all sorts. I have church and like R&B song, whatever. I just want to put a list of songs that are all like 6 chord oriented, and that's the back of the one shirt. And then like the 2 shirt would be like all the songs from the 2, like Yearning for Your Love, but whatever it is, right? Body and Soul.
Yep.
Like, and then 3 chord wouldn't be as many, but 3 chord. And then I want to make a minor 1 chord, and I just want to put dates coming soon.
Yeah. That'd be awesome.
Like to be announced. Or something funny. I'm just hating. I love it.
You should do that, man. I'm for that, man.
You know, I didn't realize though, t-shirts are expensive, pain in the ass to make.
Really?
Yeah, bro. I had to order all these shirts and the sizes, and like it's kind of expensive. And then now I got to pay this guy to print them, and it's like I'm in the hole, and it's like, but it's fine. I'm just gonna add up and see like what I need to make to just like break even or whatever. Like
just sell the shirts at the price that they're paying.
At the very least, but. I'll try and make a little something. It's kind of been a pain in the ass, but
yeah.
Anyways, that's funny.
I'm ready for that, dude. I'm ready for the drop, the merch.
The merch drop.
I'm ready.
It'd be good to have some merch. It's funny. But I was talking to Horace the other day. I gotta do that one too. Horace Bray, the guitar player. But he was cracking me up because I was like, dude, he's like, you got to keep doing the videos, man. I was like, all right, cool, thanks. I was like, are they annoying? Like.
No, and if people thought they were too full, what?
Just don't watch, I guess.
Yeah, it's unfollow.
He said they're funny. I should keep doing them. I was like, all right, cool, man. I will.
I dig it. I love it. I say just.
The next one I need to do, I realized the most obvious one. I was playing my solo gig. I was like, "Fly Me to the Moon," duh.
Yeah.
Hello, 6 chord all day. You kidding me? That one, and there was another one. Just like obvious ones. I was like, wait, why haven't I done that one yet? Anyways, I got a list on my phone. I got to look. But what else? I got some more questions. Let me think here. I'm trying to think of like bass player, guitar player relationship questions. like, let me think. Like, I mean, the time thing is interesting to me still. Of like everyone agreeing on where things are. Because especially like for Latin stuff, when you guys do the Cuban stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like that specifically.
That's the
other thing is I feel like not a lot of people in San Diego really know that shit. And I'm not saying I do.
Yeah.
I know a little bit. Though.
Yeah.
Like at least a little
bit. I mean, you know how to do
like some of it, you know, but I feel like especially with that kind of stuff, like I would rather, I mean, in both situations, I would rather it be pushed more, like rhythmically, like pushed, than lagging more, obviously.
Oh, like on the, I see. Yeah, I agree.
Like time wise.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
Which is just everyone agreeing on the quarter note. But like, especially with that stuff, it's like.
That has to have forward momentum.
Yeah. Just like even more so. Because I feel like with swing, you're kind of like, you're kind of lagging anyways, the whole feel. It's not that you're lagging, but like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You can occupy, like, be more behind or on. You don't have to be forward.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, and I don't really know. I don't know.
It's just weird that that's the feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially like, yeah. And then like, yeah, I mean, because every style of music kind of has their own type of feel. See, that's the other thing though, dude. I wish that like these church drummers would like play some jazz stuff, like for real though.
They'd probably be killing.
They would be, but they like got to study it. Like,
well, they have to get the right cymbal and everything.
And they got to learn it. And it would be nice if they could read.
Yeah,
that'd be very helpful.
Yeah.
And at the same time though, it would be nice if some of the jazz guys really could play like the church guys.
Oh yeah.
Like just playing straight groove stuff.
Yeah.
It's not really the same, dude.
Yeah.
It's not at all. Like. In my opinion.
Yeah, I know. You know.
Because I feel like I really want to use someone that can do all that stuff. You know what I mean? It would just be nice to be able to like, you know, you could like really swing, go crazy. I need to get some guys from LA just to show them, I think.
Yeah.
It'd be nice. But anyways, I want some more of your coffee, bro. You got me hooked. I think I'm kind of tweaking right now.
Really?
Yeah, I feel it. I didn't eat anything yet, so.
Oh.
I'm like empty stomach.
Man.
Bougie coffee.
Yeah.
Ethiopian.
Yeah.
Whatever it was. Half roast.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, half roast.
All right. What else, man? What do you got coming up? Where do people find you?
Well, you know, I'm on Instagram.
What's the Instagram again?
Cerulean Julian.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Yeah, cerulean, like the color blue. It's like a shade of blue.
Oh,
you know,
look
and
at you.
Yeah, and I made a website recently too.
Okay, what is it?
ceruleanbase.com. Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if you had like the weird .net or something.
Yeah. Oh no, I just use like Weebly. It's like a free.
That's what I use.
The free one.
Weebly.
Yeah. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
You know. I also have an album coming out this month on the 30th.
Oh, shit.
It's a trio album with my friend Skylar Nolan and Matt Wilson.
Okay.
Trio.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So that'll be sick.
What are you playing on? Your stuff or is it a mixture?
We recorded it a while ago, but just like a couple of my originals, a couple of the sax players' originals, and we did an Ornette tune, Bird Food.
Oh, I know that tune.
Yeah. It's like a rhythm changes.
Yeah.
It's great.
Come on, Jess. Don't be shy. She's got to go to work. Come on. You want to be on camera? Say aye. No. Jesse says aye. All right. Website. What else? What about gigs? What do you got coming up?
Well,
I'll try and post this immediately.
Blind Lady soon. Tonight with
They're
you.
Not going to see it by then.
You know. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Unless I do it right now.
Let me see.
Which I probably should.
What do I got coming up?
So wait, what about with Gil? What about the stuff you get? You do it every other Thursday or every Thursday?
Yeah, twice a month.
Twice a month. Okay.
And that's great because like you know he called me and like, man, do you play Latin stuff? I was like, well, I mean like I'm down to learn, but like that's not really my forte, and you know, and it's nice because like I feel like the best besides talking about it, and I've been checking out stuff and you know been trying to study it and see how like the tumbao will line up with the clave or something, right. But like. It's just like we were talking about earlier, like the best ways to learn is just to do it. I remember the first few gigs, I was like, what the fuck? Irving will look at me and like, well, he'll help me out. You know, he's supportive and just like, but that's how I love to learn.
I mean, that's the best way.
You know, and then, you know, you learn how to adapt. Like if you're in a situation that you're not comfortable with and it's like, you know, and it's great. And he's like, he's the hero here, you know. Every time I tell people I'm from here, like, oh, you know Gilbert? Like, oh yeah, you know.
Of course, dude. Are you kidding me?
And like,
come on,
you know, he's I like to call him the Don.
The Don.
The Don. I was like, Gil, man, you're the Don here, man. You fucking, you know, he dresses very fancy
the
and just.
Don, dude.
You know,
I love it. I'm gonna start calling.
Yeah,
him.
you
That's funny.
should.
The
you know,
Don.
Yeah, it's like, you run shit here, man. Like, you know.
All right, good job, Gil. Keep being the Don.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, sick. Thanks for doing this.
Of course.
I need some more bougie coffee, dude. That was bomb.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it. I got sangria flavored coffee coming up, man.
Oh my god. Sangria flavor? How does that work?
Yeah. I'm not sure how they get it to that flavor, but
So it's like fruity.
it's fruity. Yeah. I'm not sure how they extract that and put it in. They,
Okay.
you know, roast it.
All right, I'm in. All right. Is there such thing as minor one?
You know, I didn't really want to talk about this, to be honest, but just like, for me, I'm just sometimes yes, sometimes no.
I agree.
You know,
I agree. That's literally my whole thesis,
Yeah.
bro. Is it's both.
yeah,
It's both.
You
That's the
know.
thing. You're hilarious.
so that's how I feel about it.
Jazz prove it.
Yeah,
All right, dude. We gotta get ready for our gig.
yeah. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
That's it, guys. Go find Julian.
Yeah.
He's here. Later. Okay, wait. He was gonna tell us. He forgot to tell us the Julian Lodge story, and I want to hear it. So go.
So I remember the first time I met him, and he's first time coming into class teaching, and like, you know, very serious. You know, everyone's like, you know, I'm just like 19.
Wait, what is the class?
It's called just ensemble.
Okay.
And the class basically what we did is we played. You know, they give us like a unit of tunes to learn by like a certain composer, so like Cole Porter, Duke Ellington, and I thought that was great. You know, we just learn standards together, but just play them with each other and the faculty, and you know, it's just called ensemble. And we also get to like, it was like kind of like a 3 classes in one. Like it was like a performance class, and then you know we also like researched and talked about like the history of jazz. Like, you know, we'd research an album or like the composer that we're studying and just like talk about it. And then we'd also write original music kind of in that style or based off of that style.
Yeah, I get you.
But anyway, the story was Julian. I remember when he first came in, and it was like first semester at San Francisco Conservatory, and you know, he's a very kind of soft-spoken dude, really nice guy. He's like, let's just play a tune, man. And he has that like crazy ass like Nacho Caster. I don't even know what the hell it's called. Just crazy ass guitar. And only uses, I think he only uses the bridge pickup, I think. Anyway, but you know, he comes in.
So weird.
And yeah, but he sounds great though. Like, I mean, you listen to him. Like, he has a great tone, and you know, I guess that's not a traditional jazz guitar.
It's not. It's the
you know?
opposite. Yeah.
And I remember he first came in, and I'm not sure what tune we played, but like, I remember we were playing, and he was like, you know, got really close to, you know, like really like listening, like he's playing. He's like literally checking out, like looking at what voicings, piano players doing, how the drummer's holding the stick, just walking around the room. And after we got done, there was like this silence, and it's just like, you know, I'm just like, fuck, just like, you know, just hella nervous. And he's like, and he's such a sweetheart. He's like, you know what, that didn't sound that good, you know. And like, but then after that, he told us why. And like, you know, it was just like,
What'd he say?
you know, specifically, if I'm remembering correctly, you know, like the lock between the drums and bass, it was just so disjointed, and we didn't settle on a tempo. Someone was playing the wrong changes, shit like that.
Yeah.
You know, and he's interesting because he's not really a big, you know, and I've asked him like how, you know, he's not a really big tunes guy. Like he knows standards, but not like a shit ton, you know. Or, you know, he's not a big transcriber either. He doesn't like, I don't really transcribe, I just play. You know, like he's coming from like, he'll play like,
It's so funny how these guys all say something different.
yeah,
I
you
love
know,
it, though.
like some people are like, you need to transcribe
some
this.
like, yeah, you have to, and then
Yeah.
this guy's like,
Yeah, it's just, you know, and he's coming for more like, he said he'll play like a tune solo on guitar, you know, like, for example, like, have you seen the live at the Blue Whale, that intro he does on I'll Be Seeing You?
I don't know, maybe.
And anyway, it's great. And like, you know, he said like he, you know, like kind of, he practices tunes in a way to where it's like he studies a lot of Bach. That's like his thing. He'll learn like the partitas on guitar and transcribe them in all 12 keys. Like that's his vibe.
So he's transcribing that stuff.
Yeah. You know, and that's what he taught his students and stuff like that.
I mean, it sounds like it.
Yeah, no, that's what I was gonna say. Like it's very, but it still fits in, and he has his own sound, and he has like this, like kind of like classical and block influence with like kind of rock and jazz, like you know, and it's just like it's crazy, you know, and you know, and I love how, you know, he'll tell stories about how you know, like with Jim Hall, you know, he'll like talk to Jim Hall on the phone and just like ask him questions, and you know how you know, sometimes he'll do the I forget, is it Freddie or Grant Green who does the quarter note thing?
Oh, Freddie.
You know, and like actually I wanted to ask you about.
Wait, now you're confusing me.
Like playing quarter notes, like the 4 on the floor, like
yeah, no,
you know,
that's the Freddie.
That's Freddie Green, right? Yeah, and like I actually wanted to ask, like, how do you feel about doing that? You know, and getting that lock between the bass player and the guitar player and the drummer as well. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, what do you think that should be, or like the agreement? Like when you're on a gig, like playing like dun, dun, dun,
I mean, I think it should be agreed on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, is there like a certain kind of like way guitar players should be like kind of, you know, because I feel like with certain guitar players, like you can tell like, okay, who really does it a lot and who doesn't, you know, like who really knows what they're doing.
I mean, I don't know if I know what I'm doing, but I just do it purely off of like what feels nice.
I see.
And I personally, like, if I'm playing with the bass player that's really good or a drummer, it's like chances are I'm just gonna follow them. Mm-hmm. It's not like I'm gonna dictate.
Yeah.
In a certain way, but at the same time, it's like, you know, I'm gonna try and line up as best I can in a certain sense, but I'm also gonna kind of like. It's not that I'm trying to be exactly the same. I'm just trying to make it sound a certain way, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's just what I like.
I make it feel good and swing and stuff.
Yeah, it's just my idea of what I like, you know. And yeah. And I don't know, there's certain ways that I play. Like I'll turn down.
Yeah.
Because I like the way that it sounds when, like if I'm turned up loud and I'm playing with a pick and I'm doing that, you know, I have to play in a certain way. And if I play in the way that I would want to, it would be really loud. Mm. So like, and it affects the feel of it.
Yeah.
So like I have to turn down to a point to where I like it. It depends on the setting, and then I can play kind of hard in a certain way. Mm-hmm. And if it's the right volume, you actually hear
the acoustic sound.
Yeah, you hear the chuck of it.
Yeah, the chink.
Which if it's too loud, you know, you won't hear if everyone's too loud.
Yeah.
In my opinion. But like I don't know, sometimes I really like that feel.
Yeah, it's great. Like, you know, if we can like agree, and I wish more guitar players did that, you know.
And I like the way the chords sound. There's certain things that I do. I don't know if I'm the best at it, but like, you don't really play full chords. You more play like.
Is it more shells or?
Yeah, you just play pieces of chords, and you can kind of. It's its own type of voice leading where you can like, voice lead certain things, and like you can even do like chromatic stuff that doesn't even make sense really. Like sometimes that's what those guys are doing, where they're like, they'll play and they like will do like passing chords or like up, down, a half step down or something, and like certain things sound cool. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not the best at it, but like I just have a certain thing that I like. I'm not like super nerdy about it.
Yeah,
I'm not like I haven't really like dug in that much, but like one thing though I realized Wes doesn't really do that.
Yeah.
But he plays. One thing that I do like about the West stuff is he plays with the piano. And they play together at the same time. And that's like classic jazz school no.
Yeah. I don't know why they.
Which is hilarious. Yeah. I don't know like where this came from.
Yeah, that they can't play in comp at the same time.
I think it came from just it usually sucks.
Yeah.
And it just sounds bad usually because no one knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's where that comes from. But like I personally like it. But even on gigs, like it's funny because you'll see some piano players like just don't like it at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Or other people like don't care. Or, I don't know. Or like sometimes there's certain piano players that just don't even really listen to what I'm playing.
Yeah,
Where I've done experiments, dude. Where like I'll play a lot and try and get them to stop or not stop or do whatever, and sometimes it just doesn't even matter. Like I might as well not even be there, which is kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Julian Losh thing is cool though. It's funny though; these guys all have their own ways of thinking.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying, man. Everyone thinks of it in their own way.
Yeah. And then Julian's story is interesting because, like, you know, he's a prodigy, right? So and I'm not sure, like, basically in his early 20s or late teens. Like he had some, I'm not sure if it was like a disease or like something up with his nerve in his arm.
Oh, shit.
And he had to relearn, he had to teach himself how to play again. And I was like, and he told me the story. I forgot what exactly was wrong, but like, just like his upbringing,
I didn't know that,
musically is crazy. And yeah, and you know, that's stuff people don't really know. And like, he studied with, you know, like guitar player Randy Vincent.
No.
Like he's like an old, like super fucking old, but like everything Julian, like, I mean, he's like, that's like the start.
Okay.
Like everything he does, like he got from Randy.
Oh damn, I gotta look it
You
up.
know,
Okay.
But he's a very interesting guy. He's such a nice guy, though.
That's cool.
But
did you watch the Rick Beato thing
with
him?
No,
I haven't watched it.
Oh,
I saw like some clips, but like I didn't watch it. Me and Horace were talking about it.
Oh,
there was like a clip that he was talking about that I think everyone kind of saw, but I gotta watch that actually.
Yeah.
There's only so much time in the day, dude.
Yeah, so much shit.
All right, I'm gonna answer this. Cool, man.
Yeah.
It's official. We're done for real this time.
Okay, yeah, because you got to go.
Jazz, prove it. No such thing as minor one.